In today's video, I'm going to talk about what you should and shouldn't leave behind when you're selling a home, because it actually always surprises me how little it takes to create a big misunderstanding between buyer and seller. And sometimes not so surprising when the seller suddenly removes the refrigerator, which everybody thought was staying in the house and actually in the Florida contract is part of the standard text, so it has to be specifically excluded. But other little things can create huge misunderstandings between buyer and seller. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what appliances, fixtures, and other items that you should leave behind to avoid any of these issues and to make your sale as smooth and easy as possible. My name is Ben Danholm, and I'm a real estate marketing expert here in Central Florida. I'm also a broker owner with Maxim Realty Orlando. I have quite a few years of experience helping sellers and buyers navigating the often a little bit confusing world of home sales. And I've also helped avoid many last minute problems just by simply knowing what you should and should not leave behind, or what you don't have to leave behind. So let me show you how you can do the same, how you can avoid the biggest problems that these little things can cause. Because the truth of the matter is that buyers and sellers quite often don't really see eye to eye on what stays and what goes. And even sellers who are buyers, when they buy a home, sometimes assume things are staying that they are not thinking about leaving behind in the home they're selling. So what this video is really about is to get some coherence between the buyer and the seller. And buyers often assume that certain things will be included, including like the ceiling fan or the smart thermostat, and only to be quite disappointed when they're gone. And if they find out at the final walkthrough, it can delay the closing and even cause enough frustration that they might get to a point where they want to just walk away from everything, and that can cause a lot of problems for both themselves and for the sellers. So we don't want any broken contracts because of things that could have been easily fixed. I mean, who cares about a $75 thermostat if that's what makes everybody happy? But the key really is knowing what's considered part of the home and what's not, and even cause enough frost. If there are things that you want to exclude, make sure that you talk to your listing agent about it so it can be excluded from the listing. If you really want to bring that refrigerator with the built-in TV or whatever you have in the kitchen that you don't want to leave behind, make sure it's mentioned in your listing agreement, and make sure that your listing agent lists these items in the listing so everybody knows what stays and what goes. There are two main categories of things that confuse people in here, that are appliances and fixtures. So let's start with category one, appliances, and what to leave behind. Built-in kitchen appliances are always, as a standard in the contract, expected to stay. So that means dishwashers, built-in microwaves, wall ovens, cooktops, anything that's physically attached to your house, and your refrigerator is actually mentioned in the contract, in the as-is contract that most deals in the state of Florida. Is use the standards, the as-is contract that everybody or almost everybody uses for real estate transactions in the state of Florida. There you go. I got to it in the end. So anything that's physically attached to the home and your refrigerator, even though it's technically movable, first of all, buyers expect it to stay unless clearly stated otherwise. And if you don't clearly state it, it's actually also included in the sales contract. So if you're planning on taking that gorgeous refrigerator with you, make sure that you spell it out in the contract that it's not staying. Washer and dryer, on the other hand, they are not listed in the contract as something that automatically stays. These are negotiable, but buyers often expect them to stay. Most buyers do not want to have to go and buy a new washer and dryer when they move into a house, especially not if they match the rest of the appliances, but even if they don't, they expect them to stay. So even though it's not specifically mentioned in the contract, it would be wise to make clear in your listing, when your listing agent lists your home, that washer and dryers do not stay if that's the case. As an agent working with both buyers and sellers on a lot of deals, I would say if you really want a smooth transaction, just leave it and get new stuff, or make sure when you buy your new house that that seller leaves the washer and dryer. Makes everything so much easier and so less complicated. Then we have garbage disposals and water filters, but buyers often expect them to. Depending on how they are attached to the house, they are most likely part of the plumbing, so they should stay unless you have made prior, specifically garbage disposal. Garbage disposals are those little things under your kitchen sink. They should not be removed. And water filters, if they're attached to your faucet, they are probably not part of the sale, but if they are attached to your house, they are part of the sale. One thing that I feel like I should mention, but I have honestly never had this as an issue because these things are extremely difficult to move. However, parts of them that you can remove. So I think it's important to mention that built-in vacuum systems are part of the house, part of the home, and should not be removed. Even the bit that collects the dust in the garage should stay where it is, even though that's probably easy to remove. Then we have fixtures and other items that you could or maybe should leave behind or should not leave behind. Light fixtures and ceiling fans. Again, they are part of the contract. As if you look at if you don't want to leave them behind, if you want to take the ceiling fans down, it needs to be specifically mentioned in your listing and in the contract that they are not staying, because they are expected to remain because they're attached to the house. Same goes for window coverings, blinds, curtain rods, and custom drapes. They are actually, for the most part, mentioned in the sales contract. So if there are any curtains, drapes, blinds, special window coverings that you want to take with you, make sure you mention that you are removing them. Mounted TVs and wall brackets. The TVs don't have to stay, but the wall mount is staying according to the contract. So again, if you want to bring that special bracket for your TV, make sure you mention it in your contract because otherwise it should stay. Smart home devices, that really depends. Some of them are attached to the house and considered part of it, and some are not. But if you show a buyer a smart thermostat when you're listing your home, it is crucial that you mention that you're planning on replacing that thermostat with an old-fashioned model, if you are. Same goes for security cameras. It should really be made clear if you're removing any of the stuff because they're all attached to the home and buyers expect them to stay. So if you're taking it, anything you're taking that is even remotely attached to the home, you should definitely mention that in your contract. Built-in shelving and closet systems should not be removed. Even the bit that collects the dust in the garage should stay where it is, even though that's probably easy to remove. These are permanent features, at least in the buyer's mind, and removing them could easily be a deal breaker. Outdoor items such as deck lighting, pergolas, sheds, and fencing. Most of this stuff stays. Sheds, debatable, but fencing, fixed lighting outside, you probably should definitely mention in the contract if you're planning on removing any of that stuff. So, in summary, you should leave behind built-in kitchen appliances and your refrigerator, window coverings, light fixtures, TV brackets, um, and most people nowadays actually also expect the TVs to stay. You're not obligated to leave them, but it would be wise to mention in the contract if the TVs don't stay. Smart home features, if you're not leaving them, maybe replace them. Building storage systems and permanent outdoor structures. It's important that you clarify if things are not staying. Even though washer and dryer are negotiable and freestanding storage items are negotiable, you should definitely mention if they're not staying. So make sure that you make your listing and your contract as clear as possible, so your buyers know exactly what to expect, especially if your listing agent is promoting specific parts of your home, like the smart home features. Then you're promoting it, it should stay. So my question for you today is, have you ever had a surprise about what stayed or didn't stay when you're buying a home or selling a home? I can tell you from personal experience, when I bought the home I'm in now, the refrigerator was in the contract. As back then it was still in the standard part of the contract. We'd seen the refrigerator in the house, so we definitely expected to have a refrigerator when we moved in. When I went for the final walkthrough, there was no refrigerator. Very upsetting, because this was a nice, very expensive refrigerator, so I felt like they were trying to shortchange me. And I've had buyers having exactly the same feeling. So let me know your story in the comments. Let me know what you've experienced. I would love to hear anything that caught you off guard, or anything that positively caught you off guard, something that you didn't expect, but you really appreciated the seller left behind. Also, if you like this video or the other videos I made, why not follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up if you like the content. And maybe if you think it could be better, anything you think I could do better, let me know in the comments. I listen and respond to everything. So that's really all I had for today. I hope, like I said, you enjoyed the video. And if you want a free consultation on maybe selling your home or buying another home, just let me know. My phone number should be somewhere below me. Just give me a call, send me a text. I'm always available to talk, and it's absolutely free and without any obligation whatsoever. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to items such as deck lighting, pergolas, sheds, and fencing. Most of the stuff stays. Sheds, debatable, but fencing, fixed lighting outside, you probably should.
Hey, it's Ben Danholm, and listen, if you don't follow this channel, there's a good chance you'll never see me again. I consistently create helpful content for those who are currently in the real estate market. This information can be extremely helpful for your buying and selling needs, so be sure you like and subscribe here. And most importantly, leave a comment to let us know if this video was helpful for you. We're here to help the Central Florida community, and we always love your thoughts and questions. Follow now, and I'll see you with our next helpful video.